Hey, this is Tinie Tempah, and I'm wishing all the dropouts out there an amazing Christmas and a happy new year.
Dropout.
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 Dropout. Dropout.
Dropout.
Dropout. Dropout.
Dropout.
Dropout.
Dropout. Dropout.
Dropout.
Dropout.
Subscribe to
Dropout
UK.
Now, do it now, do it now, do it now!
Dropout UK.
Today on Dropout UK, we're joined by a man that likes to get a little bit frisky. He says it's all written in the stars and he's made everybody pass out. How you doing, love? It's Tinie Tempah.
How you doing, love?
Well, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I kiss that girl and say goodbye now. 'Cause I came for kicks, not for arguments, no. 'Cause I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I don't know what to call you. Do I call you Tinie Tempah superstar?
No, just call me T.
Tinie Tempah style icon, businessman?
Wow.
And
No,
this
no,
is
no,
the
no,
thing.
No. Wow, just call me T, man.
Do you not think you come under all of the above?
I'm trying. I am trying. With every single year that goes by and every bit of opportunity I get, I just try and grab it with both hands and just make the most out of it. So, yeah, we're getting there.
How have you changed since your first album, Discovery?
I definitely feel like do you know what? It's weird because obviously I'm 25 now. So when I made old man getting there, innit? A couple grey hairs here and there. Why not? No, I think when I made the first album, I was like 20, 21. Yeah. So I feel like even this stage of anybody's life, you know, you're changing every single day, like, you know, because you're really making that transition from like a young adult into like a proper grown up. Do you get what I mean? So I think, you know, age has kind of just made me mature naturally. But then obviously having a career like this at the same time and being able to travel a lot and engage with so many different cultures and meet so many different types of people on all ends of the scale, you know, from doing charity work and meeting people who, you know, haven't got that much long left on this world to meeting, you know, people that are really up there in high society that are like, you know, that will take a jet to work every day. I think
You were like the Royals last night.
Yeah.
You were with the Royals.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
stalking your Instagram. I can't lie.
Oh, was you? Oh, thank you, man. I stalked yours as well. But no, I mean, this is exactly what I'm saying. I think being able to see so many sides of the spectrum and just understanding each individual type of person a little bit more. I think I've just matured, but I think I've just matured in every sense of the word, you know.
What about Demonstration, your latest album? Has your writing technique changed a little bit?
Yeah, my writing technique has changed, definitely. I think off the back of the success of the first album, where I made a first album that was very like eclectic and like no two songs were the same or similar. Everything was a different genre, from in the same way you could hear hip hop or grime, you could hear like dance music, or you could hear kind of anthemic, kind of popular mainstream sounding music. Like, I think just watching all those tunes doing different things to different people kind of helped me shape the concept of the second record, because, you know, you had like songs like Pass Out, where when you play that in a club, mental. And then you had songs like Exactly, we's falling out, tracks, all sorts, you know. And then when you perform a track like Miami to Ibiza, sorry, mental, but in another way, in a different kind of way. Yeah, take your top off on stage. You know, there's people going crazy in different parts of the world to it. You know, I feel like that opened me up to a completely different crowd because of the Swedish House Mafia. And then Written in the Stars was mental, but in a different way. That was like,
It was an anthem.
Yeah, anthem, Middle England, Middle America, Premiership football, Super Bowl, it was crazy. Yeah. So once I started to see what all the different tunes, all the effect that every different song had on all the different people, I think it affected my writing in the sense that, right, okay, cool, I'm exposed to all of these people now, so how can I make a more internationally ambitious album? So songs that, as well as like having an impact over here, will have an impact elsewhere, but more songs. And that's what I think shaped the writing process of this album.
I think everyone wants to know, why did it take so long?
Why did it take so long? First year I was having fun, I was enjoying myself. Allow me. I was in the club making sense of it. I'm like, wow, man, I'm like 21, 22. My album's gone #1. It's on the way to going platinum. all these chicks are digging me hard. People's passing numbers with little pieces.
Do
of
they
paper
really
and
do
all
that? Can they
Yeah,
get to you? Because I've
sometimes,
seen your security. I don't want to mess with him.
Oh, you don't want to mess with you.
No,
Don't. But yeah, no. All of that was happening now, and I feel like like I knew like something good could happen with this album, but you never really know until it happens.
Yeah.
So you can never kind of imagine it or conceive what it will feel like when it happens. So I think coming from someone who was on the underground and like really trying for a very long time, and then one day got to the point where I signed a deal like many other MCs, but then it just ended up going kind of stratospheric and just went somewhere else. I just wanted to enjoy it and just make sense of everything that was happening and, you know, just let everything kind of sink in a little bit. So I did that for about a year. A lot of traveling. Yeah, a year's a long time, isn't it? Wow. I know, yeah. But guys, you don't understand when you're doing all this. When you're doing all this work, and when you're doing all this work and all this promo, and you're meeting new people, and you know, people may think it's a bit poncy to say, but then not being like famous or not being recognized, and then all of a sudden like people are so interested in you and everyone is like looking at you, like it's a lot to deal with as just a regular young guy from London, you know. So took me a year to kind of get into that. Released the album in other parts of the world. So I know we released Discovery in America of May 2011. And then towards the end of 2011, I started writing the second album. So it took me about 2 years, a year and a half to get it right. And I think during that process, what took so long was just the amount of people I wanted to work with. I wanted to work with so many different types of people. On this album, you have everyone from like Diplo as a producer to Labyrinth to Zane Lowe. You have Emily Sandé, Ella Eyre, Dizzy Rascal. Like it's John Martin. It's crazy, you know. Like there's so 2 Chainz, Big Sean, Laura and Vula. There's so many different type of people, you know. So getting them all together and getting things sent back and mixed and sent over again, it took like.
What's the studio session like with Tinie Tempah though?
Studio session with Tinie Tempah is very long, and I'd say quite boring as well.
To have no chicks just hanging about, like, make you feel great?
I'd like all of that stuff can come after once there's music for people to enjoy, you know. But do you know what I mean? More power to people who do have a different environment of studio. I do feel like it's important as an artist, the more you evolve, to kind of switch up your environment. Yeah. But for the minute now, it's my studio sessions are just long and just like, I really think about what I'm trying to say. It takes me ages sometimes to write. Sometimes it's really quick, but most of the time it's like really long, and I like to be on my own and all that. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
What do you say to people that say Trampoline is like Pass Out and Children of the Sun is like Written in the Stars? Like, oh, he just copied the same formula. What do you say to those people?
Well, I'd say Trampoline, first and foremost, is definitely not like Pass Out. It definitely isn't. Children of the Sun, I mean, I can understand, I can see why someone would say that, but hey, it's my formula. It's not your formula. That's what I would say, and I think, you know, I've really tried my best to carve out my own identity musically. Yeah. And I think, you know, with every good artist and every strong artist, there's like a signature sound. Yeah, signature. Like, you know, it's them. And at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just trying to become that kind of artist, you know. So yeah, man, I'm trying to make my own sound. So if certain things kind of remind you of other things, that's part of the whole process.
Even though you're really, really successful, and I'm sure you're grateful, do you miss the days when nobody recognised you and knew who you were?
I mean, there's definitely times, like, depending on when you're in I think it depends on the scenario that you're in. So I don't just walk around every day thinking that. But say if I'm somewhere maybe with a lady, or I'm somewhere with my family, and then I see a picture on Twitter and it's like me and my family in a restaurant, and someone's like, oh my God. And I'm like, my mum's in the photo, my dad's in the photo. You're kind of like, oh, come on, man. Like, that's not cool. Or like, you know, like my mum was telling me the other day that people send fan mail to like the family house. Oh, wow. Because like someone found out like where I used to live or grew up or whatever. Because everyone knows from my old area where I used to live. So, you know, people send fan mail to the house, and that's a bit weird because I don't live there, and I'm quite overprotective in that sense. So there's certain things like that which make me feel like, you know, it would have been nice. I think the superstar DJs have cracked the code and have got the right balance of it, or like Daft Punk. If I could have been an artist like Daft Punk, I would have loved that. You know, you put on your mask and you make some amazing music, and then you can just take off your mask and just get on with your life. And you can go into, and do you know what? I do go into Asda's, but I go into Asda's at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I just walk around with a trolley like a weirdo, just to get that balance of like normality, you know, like it's important.
Do you find that people that you've known from back in the day treat you a little bit differently?
Yeah, definitely. But then at the same time, there's people who I knew from back in the day that don't. So I try and be very selective of the people that I keep around, and I'm like, you can feel people's energy. It's probably like you know, she's a star at the minute. She's killing it, doing stuff. There's obviously people right now who are obviously being different to you, but I just always feel like you'll know when someone's genuine. And I think when you're in an industry or business like this, where you do meet a lot of yes men, you do meet a lot of tire kickers, you do meet a lot of people that blow smoke up your ass, it's very quick. It's very easy to kind of differentiate by someone who just wants to be around you because you're a cool chick or you're a nice guy, or someone who just wants to be around you because, you know, you're
who you are.
Yeah, you're who you are. So people do treat me a bit different, but I've been good with that. I've been distant. And another thing that I've realized is that when you distance yourself from someone, here's a little tip and a bit of advice as well. When you distance yourself from everybody, the people who really make an effort to get in touch with you time after time after time after time after time, genuinely, not for anything, not for just how are you, I saw this, I think this is really, and they continue, those are usually the people that you should try and keep close.
Take that advice, kids, take that advice. Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of stuff, I can imagine.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you want this year? You're like, Mum, socks?
Wow, yes. Wow, no, not, I was just thinking about this the other day. I'm really, God.
Go on.
This must be awful. This must be the most boring thing. No, I'm really big on scents at the minute. Scents, so like smelly things, so like candles and incense and stuff. Because my house, like I think once you get a house, you start becoming a little bit more. You're more interested about how your house smells, what goes in your garden, and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what else I got that was really cool? I got one of those punching machines. You know those things that you like punch and it tells you your score in the arcade? Really? Yeah, I got one of those in my house. That's so pretty sick. Yeah, that's amazing. So that, like, if I don't end up getting a really cool Christmas present or another watch or something, yeah, you guys should come, man. Christmas, you guys will probably pass through anyway.
We're invited.
Yeah, man.
You hear that, guys?
Yeah.
What's the next step for Tinie Tempah? You pushed back the tour.
Yeah.
Supposed to be happening soonish.
I know, man.
Come on.
I know. Okay, so basically, we've now moved the tour to April, and there was a couple reasons why, but the main reason was like where I'd finished working up to the album all the way up to the point where we released it, and then we fell straight into promo. Paris, Oslo, Stockholm, like up until 2 days ago, I hadn't even rehearsed anything of new music. And we were still getting all the like tour visuals and concepts back from LA. And everything was just like I was going to fall into this tour so unprepared, so unprepared. And like, you know, rehearsing a new album, it takes a while, you know, you want to get everything right. So we're doing a tour in March in Australia, and then we thought it would be smarter to kind of, off the back of that, where we can kind of practice a little bit. Then we can come into, because I'm at the stage now where like, if I'm going to do something, I just want it to be the best it can be. And I don't ever want to do anything half-hearted or, you know, half-step with anything. So it's going to take a little bit longer, you know, but all the tickets are still valid, and, you know, tickets are still on sale now. So you're in for a way better show, put it that way.
What about the clothing line? I still haven't got anything, by the way.
Just
throwing that out there.
Yeah, the clothing line. My manager, Dumi, he just showed me a couple other different colours of a collaboration we've done with a brand called Lavinum, which is a English heritage kind of brand. They do like quilted jackets and stuff. So hopefully it looks like everything should be ready, for New Year. So I'm hoping it will. So
basically, Tinie Tempah is going into 2014 like a boss.
Yeah, man.
Put it there. Thanks for talking to me today.
All good, no problem.
Dropout. 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 Subscribe to Dropout UK.
Now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now.